Hey there, it's Kathy with Be Creative with Kathy. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I like to do card tutorials here on Facebook Live, and then I take those videos and post them onto YouTube. So whether you're watching me on Facebook Live or if you're watching me on YouTube, thank you for being here. I appreciate all your support. The name of this video is called Enjoy the Journey DSP, because this is the DSP that we're going to use today. Now I'm assuming, because this was a reward with celebration that just ended with Stampin' Up, a lot of us have this designer series paper, so I'm going to show you how I used it for just one card. Well, maybe a couple cards, but it's beautiful designer series paper. It has all these like mountain scenes and beautiful trees. Look at the clouds on this one, is really pretty. I love this one. I like them all though. That's terrible. I shouldn't say this one or that one, but look at all those colors. And then on the other side, the designer series paper looks like this. Now, you wouldn't have to have it as a mountain scene. This one, I'm dying to do a shaker card. I have some, I can't remember what that sequins are called in the annual catalog, but I think they would go great as a shaker card in that. But anyway, you wouldn't have to use it as a mountain scene. You see here, I took this paper here and I used it here with those tropical palm dies, I think they're called, and just made it into a like tropical scene there, a sunset kind of thing. So you wouldn't have to use it necessarily for a mountain scene, but it's really pretty paper. Now, the reason I'm showing you the paper is it's in this mini catalog here, page 59, or you can find it on my online store. All you have to do is search. Hold on, let me try to find it. Search, there we go. Enjoy the Journey, and the whole suite will come up. So here's that designer series paper, and then of course it coordinates with the stamp set and the dies like that. So you could still get this paper, which I think is wonderful. You just go to my online store, place an order, bada bing, bada boom. It's right there for you. So let me first, before we do the card, I'll show you where I got the inspiration. So I went to my friend Mary's class. Now she's a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Inglewood, Colorado. So just an hour, well, 45 minutes to an hour. Well, during rush hour. Sometimes it's 20 minutes. With Denver traffic, you never know. But anyway, let me show you. I went to her class, and we, first of all, made things. Let me show you what we made at Mary's class. We made this little basket like this. Now, if you watch my channel, you'd see this before. You can either scroll down here on Facebook, or you can go back onto my YouTube and find where I made this basket. But this was one of the ones that we made at Mary's. Look how cute that is. And then we made this Venetian blind card. Now there again, this is another one. I've done a video on this one too. So you can go back and see the Venetian blind. We even covered our envelope to match our card. We made a cute little bunny card like this. Isn't that adorable? Using that Easter bunny stamp set. I think that's an adorable card. They all are really nice card. This card I think might be my favorite, I think, because I like the monochromatic of it. And this one, I wish I could remember the name of that stamp set. Speedy Recovery something, I don't know. But these are all just the images from that stamp set, stamped on color, on color. Look how cute that is. And then the last thing Mary made for us is this cute little box. And now these inside are that cracker box dies that she used. And it sounds like there's a little bit of chocolate in there. And here's a tag using the little Easter bunny set again, but look how cute. A lot of work. Everybody got one of those just for coming to Mary's class. She might be just a little too generous there. But anyway, so that's what we made at the class. And then there was a card swap at the class too. So let me show you those cards. This one first, I'll show you mine. And if you watch my videos, you saw me make this card. It's called the Reverse Bunny, because I took this little bunny and reversed with the stamp usually stamps. But there's my swap on that tea bouquet cards and envelope. That's what I stamped those on. Really cute set there. This one was Wendy's, and I apologize. I don't think I know anybody's last name. We're probably lucky that I remember their first name. First of all, when I get on video, I get nervous and talk really fast. And second of all, we all go by first names. So this was Wendy's. And it opens up like this, and then it's a pop-up card. So when you pop it up, whoops, I think she's supposed to stay in there. It pops up like that. So that was Wendy's swap. Look how cute that is. And then this one was Carolyn's. Look, she used that new desert bundle that's in the mini catalog right now. All that with the designer series paper, the die cuts. It's a really cute card too. Simple, but yet has that wow, especially when you add those little blings and stuff. Okay, and then this one was Charlotte's. Look, Charlotte used the paper pumpkin to make her card. Look how cute and simple, but love that one by Charlotte. And then this one was Diane's. And Diane here, she used that new, oh, now I'm going to forget what it's called. Fancy labels. Nope, I forget what it's called, but it's in the mini catalog right now with the dies and then the stamp set that coordinate with all just words, which I think is very helpful when you're trying to get greetings onto your card. And of course the butterfly that's been around for a while, but look how cute they cut she cut that butterfly out and then put the paper on there with a little bit of dry embossing. That was Diane's. This one was Mary's. Yes, Mary, the same Mary that I went to the class. Look how cute that is. She used a couple of those stitch rectangle framelits, no, rectangle dies for her greeting here and to make the window here on her card. And this, I believe, is the Dainty Delight bundle from the mini catalog. But that's a cute card too. Okay, and then this one is Susan's. Now, I hope it's Susan, yeah. And Susan was an overachiever. She made 2 cards. She had this one first. Look how cute this card is. Just a simple layering the ovals, just a nice little simple card. But then her second card is the card that caused all my video today. So it was this card here, and when you open it up, look, it pops up like this, so you could set it on your desk. Excuse me. And I asked her if I could do a video on this, and she of course said sure, she'd be flattered. And I'm sure that she cased this from someone else because she used words like she did this and her and she. So she cased it from somebody, but I have no idea who to give credit for. So I'm going to give Susan credit, and then if you happen to be the creator of this card, you be sure and reach out and let me know that it's yours. Plus, we'd all love to know who created something like this. It's pretty impressive. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. Let me put all this other stuff away. So again, I used that Enjoy the Journey Designer Series paper, and you can see that I took that sheet there and I cut it off, and I used the green to make a card. Let me get it ready before I show you. That looks like, well, almost ready. It looks like this. And then I decided to put these 2 pieces in the back, so when I put it in the envelope, it'll look like this. And then when they take it out of the envelope, it'll pop up and look like that. Now, the more I play with it, the more I have a feeling that these will stay back here, and it'd be more, it won't quite pop up like that, but I love the pop-up idea. So this was the card that I came up with, and like I said, I used the green part of the designer series paper, so this time I'm going to use the purple so it might look a little bit different. But let's start by picking, first of all, a coordinating color that goes with it. So I looked on the back of my designer series paper, and the only purple listed for the color here is Highland Heather. Now Highland Heather, and I hope you can get the colors right. I'm going to put it against the white so you can see. I think that gives it a better, like a true color. Looks like this, which totally matches. And I tried to match up this color here with one of Stampin' Up's colors, but this must be just a really deep, deep tint, I guess you'd call it, of Highland Heather, and I couldn't find anything that matched that. I tried Night and Navy, I tried Starry Sky, I tried everything, but couldn't find a color that looked exactly like this color, so I decided I would try Gorgeous Grape. Now I think Gorgeous Grape matches some of these other colors. It's dark enough because I like a dark color for my sentiments and such, so I decided I'm going to use Gorgeous Grape for today's video. So that's a lot of talking for tell you which paper I decided to use. But we're going to cut all of our paper together and score it and all that stuff. I'm going to start with a piece of cardstock that is 8.5-inch square. So I'm going to take, this is already 8.5 by 11, so I'm going to just cut my 11-inch side down to 8.5. So on my trimmer here, I got it lined up at 8.5, and I'm going to just take and slice that little piece off. Okay, now we have a piece that is 8.5 by 8.5, and I'm going to go ahead and score it now. So I'm going to score it at 2 1/4. and then I'm going to score it at 4 inches, and then I'm going to score it at 6 3/8. So 6 1/2, especially on Stampin' Up's trimmer, is this long line past this little gray area. So I'm going to just go back one little notch. There's the 6 1/2, and I'm going to go back one little notch. That's going to be 6 3/8, if that helps. Okay, so now I have an 8 1/2 with all those square lines. I'm going to take and cut through those square lines now. Those score lines, not square lines. I'm going to cut through the score lines now at 2, 4 1/4. And this is going to be just, because usually our paper is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And this one is just going to be 4 1/4 by 8 1/2. So now I have my, don't put that away, because now we need to cut our designer series paper. So I want my designer series paper to go this way and to be 4 inches tall. And I don't want to cut off my mountains here, so I'm going to go ahead and cut. You can see, maybe you can't see, where the little line is going to cut my paper right here, right? So I'm going to make sure that my mountain, because I want the top of the mountain on my paper, or I'm sorry, on my card. I can't do two things at once. So I'm going to cut here first, making sure that this is longer than 4 inches, because what I'm trying to do is get the piece of designer series paper that I want that's 4 inches tall. Then I'm going to turn it over and cut some of these trees off down here and make my paper 4 inches. I hope all that made sense. If it did, oh my goodness, because I probably ramble on and don't make any sense at all. Okay, now we're going to cut our designer series paper to fit our panels here. Now with this designer series paper, or this pattern of paper, the green looked good because it had the green on the back, right? So I could flip it over and use both sides of the paper. However, I don't want that green with my purple, so I decided I'm going to just use all the scenes. So instead of using the back of the designer series paper, I'm going to use the front, or at least this side, for all of my scenes on my paper, or on my card again. So I need to cut this down. I'm going to make sure I keep it in line. So as I cut it, I'm going to set it up here so I keep it the way I want it to go on my card. So we're going to start with a 2-inch piece. So this is 4 inches, like I said here, and this first piece is going to be 2 inches. So I'm going to cut it there at 2 inches. Then I need one that is 1 1/2. So I'm going to cut this next one at 1 1/2. The next one I need to be 4 inches. So I'm going to slide it all the way over there to 4 and cut it again. Now we have that one for 4 inches, and then 1 1/2 again. There we go. And then we have a 2-inch piece here. And there's all of our little pieces for our card. And I'm really happy. I love the way that this piece right here, because this is going to be our focal point, where it turned out to be on the card. So as you're cutting your paper, if your designer series paper is different, make sure that you like that 4-inch piece as your focal point. Just a little step there. Okay, let's fold along these score lines here. I'm going to just fold. And I'll be honest with you, I don't know if I'm folding it the right way. When I put the card together, I'll probably have to fold it a couple more times to make sure I get this is that and that is this, and make sure I get the folds the right way. But for now, so I can see where my designer series paper goes, I'm going to just fold on those score lines. Okay, so now we can see that we have 2 pieces that look just like this. However, it's really going to be like this. So you can see that this is 2 1/4. This is where this piece is going to go. And this is where this piece is going to go. So to make it easier, when you get to hold card together, I'm going to put my designer series paper on there now. And I'm going to just use a little bit of tape runner here, stamp and seal. Get those centered on there. This one here is just going to go right next to it. Oh, and you know what? It just dawned on me. I forgot a piece of paper. I'm going to have to go dig through my drawer, my scrap drawer here, and see if I have another piece of gorgeous grape. Because I need a 4. Sorry, I can't do 2 things at once. I need a 4 1/4 inch square for the very front of my card that I forgot to cut. Okay, so now it looks like that. Let me grab some, let me see if I have a gorgeous, oh I do. Look, I have a nice scrap of gorgeous grape. That turned out nice. Let me just cut this. This needs to be 4 1/4 square. Right there. Thank goodness it was handy. I guess it was meant to be. And then we'll cut that one down. Now I have that 4 1/4 square that this piece is going to layer on right here. So a little bit adhesive back there. And lay this one right. So if you if you need the measurements, don't trust my mouth ever. I'll make sure I have all the measurements on my blog, becreativewithkathy.com, and you can get the correct measurements there. So now we're going to put this piece. No, see, this is where I have to stop and think. Yep, so now we're going to take this piece, we're going to take this one at this end and fold it in like this. There we go. Now Kathy's got it. So this one needs to be folded in this way. So when you put your card together, these two pieces, see how these are going to open up like this, and then we're going to attach this piece to here, and that's what's going to make the inside of our card. So I'm going to put adhesive all over this piece here. And just to make sure it's really sturdy, I'm going to put along here too. And then lay this piece like this, right up to that edge. So it looks like that. See how it's stuck back here? But when you open it, it flips up this way. I hope that makes sense. Then I'm going to do the same thing to this piece. So really it's the back of the front of our card. And then I'm going to layer this piece right here, and I have to turn it this way, and line these up. So it lines up perfect like that, but then when you open your card, it looks like that, and you have those two pieces attached back here. So it ends up looking like that. Isn't that pretty? So when they put your card in your envelope, it looks like this, and then when they open it up, it pops up and looks like that. Okay, let's just do a little bit of decorating to the front of our card, and then we're all done. So I'm going to use this same greeting. This is from the Charming Sentiments, and I love this stamp set because it has the dies that cuts it out and makes it look like I fussy cut it. So the first thing on just a little piece of scrap white, and I'm going to bring in my, is this one? Yeah, this one's photopolymer. I'm going to bring in my Pierce mat and put the, oh no, it's already mounted. Look, I already did that job right here, and with some of that gorgeous grape ink. I'm going to ink up my stamp here. My cards are too big. They're in the way. Ink up my stamp. Now I just refilled my Glorious Grape ink pad, so he's going to be very vibrant and happy. A new fresh ink pad is always nice when you're stamping. It makes things a lot easier. I'm going to hold it, let that ink sink in, especially those dark colors like that. And then there you go. Look how pretty that is. Okay, now for these dies, because these dies I thought were very hard to see which one was which, I went and just did a photocopy off the copy machine of the stamp set, and then I can find the die that goes with that one really easy like that. And I am going to take a piece of Post-it tape here, because these dies do not give you a lot of wiggle room. You got to take your time and make sure you see all of the words through your die. In fact, I think it needs to go up just a little bit because my wishing. What do you think? Think that looks pretty good? But I'm going to use a little bit of Post-it tape here. Now these are one of my favorite things from Amazon. I'll put the link below in case you don't have any Post-it tape. I think it's a must in your craft room. And I'm still going to finagle and move it around just a little bit more. Try to get it just where I want it. Patience, Kathy. There we go. I think it looks good there. Then bring in my little die cut machine. bring in my platforms. We're going to start with number 1, and then of course cutting pad number 2. And I'm going to offset them just a little bit here, each one, so they're easier to get through the machine. Sometimes he can be a little finicky. He, meaning the die cut machine. And then lay that through there, just like that. Let's see how I did. While I have my die cut machine out, I'm going to take, get rid of, oh yeah, look, I did pretty good. I'll take that. Take this off. I'm going to also just cut a couple of those little clouds to put on the front of my card like I did my first one. So I haven't even put this dice. I usually like to put it onto some magnets, and I haven't even taken the time to put my die set onto magnets yet. It's because it's too busy making cards. So I'm going to just do the little one and the large one. And really, I got that idea from the Stampin' Up! Catalog. That's how they arranged their clouds. I loved it. I didn't have to think. I just did what they did. Okay, run that through. And again, look how I've staggered my plates. So if you're having trouble with your mini die cut machine, all you have to do is stagger your plates, and it makes life a lot easier. Okay, got my little clouds. Let's just put these all onto the front of my card, and bada bing, bada boom. Now here I did decorate a little bit with the hiker, but I don't know, I'm not gonna mess with a lot of time. You can decorate yours, probably do a much better job than I do, because I'm all over fast and easy, and I do like simple. Take my little large cloud, I'm gonna set it way up here at the top, and then just a little glue dot on the smaller cloud. Lay him staggered a little bit, maybe over here this time, and then I am going to put my little words on there with dimensionals. Now, if you've noticed, and I should have paid attention to this too, there's no place to write a sentiment on your card, or your greeting or anything on your card. So what I will do when I'm done with my video is I'll cut a couple little pieces that again match that piece of designer series paper, so 2 inches by 4, and I'll lay a piece of white paper right there that I can sign and you know, your card, so when you send it out they'll know who it's from and stuff. But there you go. So there's my 2 cards. Looks like this when they're closed. You put them in an envelope, and then when you take them out of the envelope, they pop up into a scenic thing like that. Alrighty, so thanks Susan, first of all, for swapping with me. I loved your swap. I'm glad I could copy it. Again, if you need those measurements, be sure and go to my blog, becreativewithkathy.com. The link will be below, and on my YouTube, if you're here, to be in the description, along with all the supplies that I used. Last thing, probably lost everybody by now, but it's that time of year that I need to let Stampin' Up! Know who wants a catalog. So if you want a Stampin' Up! Catalog, the new catalog goes effective May 4th, I think. Be sure and reach out and let me know so I can let Stampin' Up! Know to get you a catalog in the mail, and you should receive it the middle of April. Alrighty, that's what I have for you today. Let me know if you give this card a try, or if you're the person that originated this card. I would love to know. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you back here next Monday. Bye-bye.